So first of all, let me talk about this because, it's coming out first. So let me just talk about it and then that way we can move on. First of all, this is a card overall about communication, okay? Work contracts. And I do feel, usually with the Judgment card, this is indicative of major, major contracts, things that can really change your work environment, things that can really benefit you in a big way. So, for example, landing that huge account, landing a huge commission, getting a huge bonus checks, doing something where, people are signing on the dotted line and things, projects, progress is moving forward. Okay. So everybody is on board. Everybody is in agreement with one another. And there is a finality. There's a clear decision as to how to move forward. And I feel for many of you, you're hitting up many different facilities, institutions. You're seeing a lot of different people to finalize something, to finalize a sale, finalize a decision, finalize something where there's contracts involved with multiple actors, multiple people. There's also this sense of hierarchy where, like you need a signature from the top down. Then from the top down, you need to go to middle management. And from middle management, then you go towards the employees. So there's something here that is very structural. You need all the signatures. You need all the approval. You need to do things in a very methodical, in a very structured way in order to move everything along. So there's decisions resting on multiple actors, multiple people. And because so many people are involved, and it seems almost to me like roadblocks, bureaucracy, red tapes, it's going to be a little bit delayed, okay? And I feel like this might be in the work environment where it's really slowing down your revenue stream, okay? So I feel like for some of you, it could be trying to take out a loan. And trying to take out a loan, you have to, get your credit approval, or you have to get financing from either a third party, a lender, a financier, or from like a financial institution. So some things are being slowed down. And then for others of you, I also feel like this is work contracts. So if you're working on a contract, on a sales, on a commission basis, there's a little bit of a slowdown when it comes to money. Just a little bit of a slowdown. It's not major, but I do feel that it's going to resolve itself. I do sense August, okay? What I'm also feeling as well is for some of you, this can basically be medical treatment, diagnoses, getting some type of a prognosis concerning you or concerning a loved one or concerning somebody that you're dealing with. There might be news and communication as it relates to emotional. I feel more emotional, mental, okay? Health of a person, their well-being, their status, the prognosis surrounding treatment plan options and things like that. That's coming through related to you or somebody that is very close to you. And I do feel mental, emotional health, as well as the diagnoses. What else is affecting? It's affecting the people that is involved in that environment. And so there is something here that you're waiting on positive news, but I do feel if it's emotional, mental health, even physical health, it might be somebody who is kind of like going through some hard times and they're in the decline emotionally, mentally, or physically. So that's the first batch, okay? The what I want to talk about next is this. And this is more like incongruence to what I mentioned earlier regarding don't take on other people's burdens, okay? You have a lot on your plate this month, Aries. And you normally do throughout the year. When I read for Aries, and especially Aries and Virgos, you guys always have a lot of projects that you're dabbling in, a lot of ideas that you're implementing, a lot of things that you're managing. And I also feel that there are a lot of roadblocks along the way, mainly because, you have this really strong dynamic type A go, go, go energy. And people are not going to be working as fast as you are. People are not going to be as efficient. And so there's a moment here where a lot needs to be done, but there's a stalled energy because other people might not have the same value. They might not have the same work ethics. And so waiting things out, making sure that I feel more than anything, the universe is telling you to slow down, mainly because if we're pushing forward single-handedly, we're going to encounter opposition, roadblocks, and that sense of inertia from other people. And if that happens, don't push ahead. um, Head in a different direction, distract yourself with something else, work on another project, shift your priorities to something else, so that you're not feeling out of sorts, so that you're not feeling impatient and irritable. Okay, so watching out for irritability, being careful about that, that's really important for you. Okay, there's an element here about being very cautious about your dietary intake and your physical health overall. I do feel a lot more exercise is required for you. Both of these are major, major health cards, okay? This can be emotional or physical, and this is definitely emotional. Feeling irritable, feeling as if you're dashing off things at the last minute. You might not have time to eat. You might have a very poor diet because you're busy, you're stressed out, you don't have the time. Or when you get home from work, you're just, pooped, you're just so exhausted that you don't really want to invest the time in cooking healthily for yourself. So doing a lot of like meal prepping is going to be good for you, or finding like, dietary supplements like protein shakes, protein bars, or just something to supplement that one meal. Could be dinner, and then trying to compensate by eating healthier the other meals. I feel is going to be much better for you. So there is a major message here about being careful about your health, taking better care of yourself, getting adequate, um, exercise, making sure you're not irritable. And I also feel this very strong emotional highs and lows. So it could be like, I feel like caffeine crash, sugar crash. Making sure you, especially for those who are, diabetic, um, or have very low blood sugar, just be really careful that you don't crash, okay? So making sure that you check your blood sugar, because I feel like you're overworking and you're feeling kind of like you stand up and you have this massive head rush. So be very careful about that, okay, Aries? You are ruled by the head, so there's a lot of tension, headaches. There's also like congestion, feeling congested whenever you're about to get, sick, or your body is trying to fight off like a minor infection. So when you see these symptoms coming in, making sure you get a lot of water, making sure that you're a lot more cautious about what you're giving your body, putting in your body. So slowing down a little bit to really take adequate time to eat right, and slowing down a little bit so that you're not, irritable when you're dealing with people who are a little bit slower. They could just be like lacking in the work ethics. They take longer to process information, or they're just a little bit slow in how they do things. They're not as, lightning fast the way that you'd like. And they do things in a very like, I feel like at a snail's pace. And it could be, for all intent and purposes, they're just not as motivated and they're a little bit more lazy. And therefore you have to like constantly call and check up on them. Did you get that order in? Did you get that signature for me? You mentioned that you were going to get back to me. You never did. What's going on? So I feel like there's a lot of, phone tag. There's a lot of interaction where the other person say they're going to do something. They have all this free time. They say they're going to do one thing, and you're relying on them because I feel like it's financially, you're financially reliant on them to do their end of the bargain so that you can get paid, or so that the money can move forward, or so that a transaction can move forward. And then they have like so many things on their plate, they never get around to it, or they're just not good at time management, so they never get around to it in a timely manner, and it kind of puts you in a jam. Okay, so just being a little bit more careful, making sure that you don't blow things out of proportion, being a lot more diplomatic when we communicate with other people, so that we're not chastising them, but like attracting people with honey, so that we're not chastising them, but we're telling them what they need to hear, so that they understand the urgency. Okay, um not to like set them in their place, but so that they understand where you're coming from and they understand the sense of urgency. So, sweet talk, I feel like that's going to go a long way for you. Okay. The last message that I have here coming through in this spread is that a lot of you are trying to secure something for yourself. And It's almost screams out to me like you're trying to build up the nest egg. You're trying to create that financial foundation for yourself because you want to move on to the next phase of your life. So I feel like some of you are working, waiting to retire, and you're trying to get all the pieces, in place so that when you retire, you can have a lot more financial stability and financial abundance. And then others of you, you're trying to do a lot in the work environment so that you can get a promotion, so you can rise ahead, so that you can like have a very, very good letter of recommendation, so that you can look at other jobs. So I feel that what you're doing is securing your professional, your life and also your financial foundation. And so there's a lot of anxieties here about long-term, future financial stability. And I feel like you're headed towards a time crunch where a lot of you might have, 4 or 5 years left before you retire, or you are already retiring, but you're still working mainly because you want to have a bigger nest egg. And so you're pushing your physical body past its limits. Okay, so they're saying to slow down a little bit, take care of yourself, and take care of the things that matter. Because if we're working all the time and we wear out our bodies and our minds, and our sense of patience and endurance. What good is, having that few extra $100 when we retire if we're constantly like chronically in pain because we have pushed our bodies beyond that point of exhaustion. So take better care of yourself and being very conscientious about what's really important in life. Okay, do you want that financial stability, or do you want that um, quality of life? And I know that I don't want to sound preachy, especially to you guys. And you are living this. I'm just looking at it. But I do feel that it's really important to realign yourself with your true values and to really think about what's really important in life, okay? Be careful about, lower back pain, lower extremities, because I feel like some of you are just you put on a brave face and you're a very active sign, but your body it needs to recuperate, it needs to rest. Okay, so you might feel like you might be 50 feeling like a 21-year-old and pushing your body past its physical limits. Be careful about that. The last thing that I want to mention here is I feel I feel as if, like I mentioned, people are coming to you, and I'm sensing like there's going to be opportunities for you to socialize, for you to get out, and I feel like you have been a little bit like of a shut-in the past 2 months. So let me see. So we're in June right now, so April and May. And this month is no exception. There's solicitations for going out, gathering, people wanting to meet you, people wanting to see you, people wanting to share experiences with you. They want to reconnect with you. I don't feel it's exes. It could be for some, but I don't feel it's exes. I feel like social functions, events, family members, friends, people wanting to see, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Is everything good? How's work? They want to catch up with you, and it's all work, work, work. I don't have time. I have so many things that I need to do, and you might not even answer that text message. You might not even answer that phone call. So taking time to really uh, slow down and enjoy the social relationships and to foster and nurture the relationships that you have, it's really going to make you feel appreciated, loved, wanted, and restore your faith in humanity, because I feel like there has been some heavy news that came in recently and you're still trying to make sense of it, process it, and trying to move on. Okay, and you might be kind of like sequestering yourself. It's like a self-imposed isolation. And so while you're going through it, I feel that having a person that you can emotionally open up with, such as a really good friend, family member, somebody that you can bare your soul to, you need an outlet for something that has recently happened, and you need to do it in a safe, loving, emotionally supportive environment. So that's what I'm sensing here. Financially, things are going to be okay. I mentioned the August time frame, and that's when the sun is going to shift into the sign of Leo, and that's when in a fellow fire sign, things are going to start to progress for you. But I feel like it's in the August time frame, things will start to lift. Okay, so there might be delays, but there will be contracts. I feel like some of you are like working in a sales commission basis where sales contract are being signed, but there's a major delay when it comes to getting paid. And I feel like, yes, you're doing a lot of work, but you don't see the results immediately. And I feel like it's being delayed for a reason so that you don't take it for granted and you continue to push forward as well. Okay.